Helen, I met a woman at a wedding. She was like, I'm really into magnets. Do you want to go find a magnet with me tomorrow? And I was like, oh, I don't actually have time. You can't be as much into magnets as a woman I do a podcast with. And she was like, oh, really? Because I have a musical fridge and a destination freezer.
She's the most charming woman you've ever met.
She's so cute. I have
Yeah. Trusty Hogs,
the podcast where we tell you about our gorgeous lives and we try to answer some listener problems, and we do try most of the time, apart from when we're lazy and we phone it in. But most of the time we try.
My name's Helen Bauer. This horse, Catherine Bohart.
Hi.
Let's get going.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them, or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
So she's got one for musicals,
Yeah.
one for destinations. So the musicals are the magnet that she buys at the end of the musical at the gift shop.
I
in box
assume
office.
so, question mark? Yeah, I assume so. She's in an amateur musicals, you know what I mean?
Stop.
Yeah, musical group. So yeah, musicals group.
Oh my god, she sounds like a dream.
KMT in Manchester, shout out, or wherever they live.
Shout out KMT, I guess.
Yeah. We should go to see one of their musicals. But yeah, that's the deal. So
Oh my god, Andrew, are you enchanted? I'm enchanted.
Absolutely adore.
Of course we're. Oh, she's so sweet. I was like, this is heaven. I have to tell Helen immediately. Also, as you know, I need to apologize for my absence.
They don't know what happened because we didn't say why, did we?
I'm sure you said something disgusting.
We barely mentioned
I don't
it.
think I
Uh-huh.
mentioned it.
Okay,
I
so
wouldn't
you
have
just
told
don't-
the guests that.
You
for
know
sure.
I'm not going to listen, so this is so unfair. It's so unfair. But
Catherine lost all the liquid out her body.
I really did. I was so unwell, and half the wedding was unwell. So it wasn't just like Catherine's being dramatic. It was like, oh fuck, this failed. I spent 2 days on the floor, basically, like I climbed from my sofa to the floor, to the bathroom, to the floor. And also Helen, oh god, I hate when I confuse you and Ellen.
Your
Damn
girl,
it, my
Helen
girl.
Bauer.
No,
Your lovely girlfriend, Helen
this
Bauer.
work.
Oh no, girlfriend.
Why are your names so similar? It's so
You found Ellen after you found Helen. That's
I
not
agree.
me.
I agree. So Ellen is my girlfriend is in a musical, in a show in Regent's Park
It's a
Open Air Theatre.
musical.
It's got music, and I will not bend to this. And she
You're dating a
is
West End
obviously
Wendy.
she's obviously in a cast of however many people,
Yeah.
so she couldn't be there. She couldn't be like, I'll take care of you. She had to be like, whoa, you seem sick, peace out, bye. And I was like, you motherfucker, which is totally fair and correct or whatever, but like,
Wait, so she wasn't there. I messaged. I thought she was with you, taking care of you.
no, she
Are you fucking joking?
couldn't be. She couldn't be. She couldn't give them all food poisoning, or if it was a stomach bug, that was a bigger issue.
Did to come and get the stomach bug from you?
Why would you want that?
For the shits. I find it very cleansing.
Oh,
We've been
God,
over this.
It's awful, and I puked so much, and I really haven't done that since I was a kid. I felt like such a baby, but also, as much as I was like, oh, it's kind of savage that you're leaving, on the other hand, I'm like, I'm so glad she didn't witness it. There's something in like,
There's an amount of shit and vomit which
you're
just
just like,
no
I
one
don't,
needs to be around.
I don't want, and I like that you find me attractive,
Yeah.
you know, and I like that I have a little bit of, well, not much dignity, but some dignity here.
No, do you remember that guy I was dating a couple of years ago and I threw up
I
and farted at the same
remember.
time in front of him? And it was like, that's it then.
It's
Like, it doesn't
over.
even matter if
No,
there
of
was something
course.
there. Like, we have to call it because I nakedly did both those things at the same and you're
Yeah.
the asshole end of it,
Yeah.
you know? Like, it's
Yeah,
over.
It's done. It's so done. And so that was
If
you
it
know-
helps, I did watch Bridesmaids at the weekend. I just had it on in the background because I just think it's just the best film. It's just such nice
it's objectively
watching.
great, but that scene is horrific.
And I just thought of you the entire
hate
time.
you.
I was like, my poor Catherine.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
Do you know what it was yet? What you ate?
No, also there's like this my mom doesn't listen to this podcast, it's fine, but there's this like funny thing of like, I was like, I think I got food poisoning at the wedding. Half the wedding's sick, by the way.
Yeah.
My mom's like, no, it wasn't food poisoning. It must have been a stomach bug. In essence, it's very important that it wasn't their fault. Somebody, you know, that kind of,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then my brother was like, I'm sick too. And I was like, oh God. But then 3 days later, my mom was like, how are you? Are you all right? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm a bit better. And Peter was like, yeah, me too. And then Peter was like, my brother was like, how are you, Mom? And she was like, yeah, I'm feeling better too. And I was like, you were sick too? Oh, girl.
Wait, so all of your family got struck down with the shits?
But my mom was like, who knows what it is? And I'm like, oh, come on. No. But to be fair, I love that about her. She's so loyal. She's like, our lovely house would never do that.
You brought over a bug from the London. That's what you did.
Exactly.
You brought over a bug from that Isle of shitheads and you brought it over here to our Emerald Isle of Gold.
The thing is, right, it's like, I also had a great time at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I had such a good time, and it's like,
what was it? His family wedding, wasn't it?
Yeah. But like a country Irish wedding, 300 guests, 5 courses of food, followed by an hour and a half break, followed by a pizza, fried chicken, chips option. Half an hour break, cheese and
pregnant bride,
crisp sandwiches coming out. No, she wasn't even pregnant. She wasn't even pregnant.
Oh,
It was so dignified. It was really nice. I haven't been to mass in about 9 years. Oh no, as in a church in 9 years. I wasn't even at mass 9 years ago. I was there for my dad's ordination, and this was my first second wedding in a church, but this time it was on a Sunday, so they did full mass, which in Ireland means that after the wedding they've said like we're now parents to man and wife, and then there's still another 45 minutes of mass. But my dad was doing the mass. I've not seen him gig before, and he actually got a lot of laughs. He got a lot of laughs.
Great.
Fair play to him. But what I forgot about was how much apologizing there is. Catholic mass is like, hey, how are you? Sorry. Listen, hello, we're so sorry. God, we're awful. We're so sorry. We're sorry for being us. We're sorry for being imperfect. We're sorry for everything we've probably done or could ever done or would ever do. Sorry. Amen. But no, seriously, I'm very sorry. And I'm like, I forgot all this shit.
Why are they I mean, I know why they should be sorry.
Oh, because the premise is just like, you're a sinner, you're imperfect.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, oh God, I hate this shit so much. But thankfully, there was a kid outside who was like running around. So at about the 45-minute mark of the hour and a half mass,
You went
I
to
was
go
like,
play with the kid.
I went to play with the kid.
Well, that's where you got your bug from.
Probably.
Kids all have bugs. You were playing with a kid in the dirt outside a church in a
took
graveyard.
my shoes.
You're gonna get a bug.
It's so funny. I took off my shoes and was running around with her, and
You took off your shoes and ran around in a graveyard?
she was dancing on the graves.
Who is this baby girl?
She was dancing on the graves. I was like, I love this kid. She was climbing the Statue of Mary. I was like, no respect. I love her. So yeah, I had fun. But no, the wedding was good and the music was phenomenal. They're all trad musicians, so the music was amazing.
Nice.
And I just love Irish weddings because like the finger food is called a slider. It's a whole burger. You're like, no wonder the chances for food poisoning were so high because there were 15 food.
Yeah. You're gonna get it at some point.
Yeah, servings. It was wild.
Did you enjoy the rest of the food poisoning though? Hello?
Nah, you know what? It did force me to stop for a day and a half.
There you go.
To 2 days.
There you go. Because you were even hustling on the phone with me.
I know,
the morning of this recording. That you were like,
I'm so bad.
Like, maybe if we could just push it back a little bit, I could make it. And like, I knew you were ill because I was naked on the phone.
I didn't
with
even
you,
notice.
And you couldn't even give me what I needed.
I couldn't enjoy it. You did a full
this is
show.
good that you took a break. And sure, you were on the pot or on the floor. Did you vomit on yourself at any point?
I do. I will. No. I do
Good.
think that I might be a slight workaholic in that my friend.
Whoa!
What's happening?
I do think I'm a. That's like
excuse
me
me?
saying, like, oh, I do think I do have a problem with talking about my breasts. Like, are you fucking joking?
What
you
was
are
that?
like, you
What
are
was
built
that?
to work. You're like, like in Ants at the beginning of the film Ants, when they divide them up into the workers and the soldiers. Like, they'd look at the features of Catherine and be like, work around. And then she'd also train as a soldier because she had a bit of free time. It's mad. It's actually mad. You tried to implement a rule 2 weeks ago that we shouldn't message about work at the weekends within 1 week.
I need that.
You were like, blah, blah, blah.
I do need that. I have to.
I agree you need it.
Thank you.
I agree
Thank
you need
okay,
it.
I'll keep trying. Oh my God. Okay, so this has come up. This has been
the girl who joined the debate team for fun at school
okay.
was a workaholic.
But this has come up because so your laughing was rude, but also my friends were over at the weekend. My very good old friends from university were
Yes,
over.
yeah.
And it was gorgeous. And they have like very high-powered jobs. And at one point, one of them said, truly the worst thing that anyone's ever said to me as a comedian. She went, "Oh, have you ever logged the hours of the week you work?"
Oh, no, you mustn't ask people that.
Can't start that.
No.
Correct. I was like, why the hell would you say that
No,
to my
because then we'll
face?
work out how much we actually get paid per hour, and I don't want to know because I think it'll be very sad.
But also then I'll realize like, yeah, I work like within the hours of 8 to 11 a lot of the time. Like,
yeah.
But what am I doing? That's the other question is like, what am I even doing?
Does this
You know?
count? Does this count? It's like that thing. Who was it you that told me? Like some like musician said, like they don't pay me to perform, they pay me to travel.
No, I didn't know.
Okay,
that.
someone told me that, and I was like, that resonates with me because, like, I enjoy every second of being on stage.
Yeah.
But it's the like having to run somewhere, runs back, like the traveling around. Like doing this is great, but it's then the coming into the studio and then the waiting around for 3 hours after we finish this for the gig to start tonight.
I think of my time with you as work, but what
Do
I'm
you
saying
really?
is, yeah.
Unkind.
sorry.
Oh no.
Do you not view this as work, Helen?
No, I view it as banter.
Oh, my God, we should readjust the pay then.
I think us like booking guests and texting people, that's work. That feels like work.
Yeah.
And then sharing the episode when it comes out,
And the
that's
merch and
work.
stuff. Yeah.
But actually sitting here and having
You're
a
right.
coffee.
You're right.
It
It's
is
lovely.
lovely.
It's lovely. We have a dream
a
job,
dream.
and that's the thing is, I think we're so.
Psych! I see it as work. Give me all your money.
But yeah, she said this to me, and I was like, "Gosh, maybe I'm a bit of a workaholic." And then I was saying to Ellen that I can't wait to retire, and she was like, "You will never retire. What are you talking about? You'll be 85." And I was like, "I don't want to be 85 treading the boards." And she'll be like, she does a horrible Irish accent, but she was like, "They've offered me a corporate. I just have to go to town one more time."
But you know what I think you're going to end up
Hell.
being? I swear I've told you this before. You're going to be the Jonah Melissa Rivers show. You're going to have one daughter. You're going to reality TV the fuck out of her. And then both of you are going to go on Fashion Police being absolute cunts.
I
With
cannot
realistically
wait.
Kelly Osbourne's yet to be born child.
I
Like-
can't wait to be cancelled with my daughter on Fashion Police.
But that's what it's going to be. That is
know, I
your career
get it.
trajectory.
I
You've
do
been
get it.
building towards Fashion Police on MTV since you started.
But you're missing my breakthrough, which is I at least recognize I work maybe too much.
Honey, you recognise that once every 6 months.
I can't change it. And the worst part is, I'm like, this is the thing I criticize my dad for. I'm like, you gotta relax. But I don't know how to relax.
It's also so much harder because we're self-employed.
Yeah, it is. You could constantly be doing something. You never know when the last job is. But also, like, I don't get it. So, like, you sit there and you don't do anything.
Also, no, you need to talk to people about relaxing who are self-employed. I think talking to people who have like a per annum job is so different than what we do. So like, I've got a lot of out-of-town gigs at the moment, but
Me
a lot
too.
of like late journeys back, like last, which I love. I'd rather come
Speaking
back on
of
the night.
this weekend, I'm going to Brighton Friday, Saturday, and then
lovely.
there's a train strike. Back really late, and then off to Last Shoot on Sunday. Here, lads, can I just say it? I don't want to go to Last Shoot. I'm going,
But
obviously.
little Helen is left.
I know, and I'm driving you there and I'm driving you back, and I've agreed to it only because we got offered TrustyHogs, but like I would never have agreed to Latitude. I'm so grateful for the job.
By the way, we're recording this a week before, the
And
week
thank you
of
so much,
Latitude.
but I'm
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
so much for coming.
Oh, two
But,
girls
like,
are coming who I used to work with.
And thank you.
Hi, Ella and Nikita.
But I won't have anything in common with people who go to festivals for fun.
Yeah.
I don't want you to bring your muddy shoes in my car.
No, I know that.
I don't want to drive there. It seems scary.
I'm bringing spare shoes. I'm going to be good.
I don't. We can stop at a drive-through though. I would like to stop at a drive-through. I haven't done a drive-through McDonald's yet, and that would be fun. But I don't like get it. I don't. Why do people do that?
But we're both doing the comedy arena. Are you cabaret tent, Andrew? Where are you performing at?
I'm at the Outpost, and then
Outpost.
we're in the listening post for the podcast.
Yeah, but the
To be
Outpost
fair, I
is
am
super
excited for
close
the
to the
arena.
comedy arena as well. So
Oh,
we
is
can
it?
we've got like a backstage
lovely.
area. You can, so that'll be nice.
I
right?
think you
It's
actually
the
could have the
three
bit
of
where I
us.
said I don't want to go to Latitude because that's true, but I feel like I shouldn't say it about my listen, leave it in. I am excited to go. It's just not where I don't like festivals, but I'm going for you guys and I'm excited. And by you guys, I mean you too.
But I think like I'm not going to leave your side. It's going to be, quite frankly, a lot. you know that I'm not a festival girly either. Like,
Yeah.
I am not, like, everyone thinks I would be, but, like, I'm really not.
Yeah.
When you're doing the comedy arena, right?
Yeah.
You've done it before, right?
No.
Okay, if you do the arena, you get given a cabin, like a wooden cabin of your own with electricity. There's picnic tables just for you and the comedians outside it, okay? All the drinks you want, so we can just have Diet Cokes and we can just sit down and we can relax in our own wooden cabins.
Okay, fine. That sounds nice.
And I'm not
Thank
going to
you.
leave you. If I'm going to
what's
go
the
somewhere,
toilet
I'm going to come tell you.
situation?
There are backstage ones. They're not flawless, but I'm going to bring so much antibac and wipes,
Okay, I
and
love
you
you.
are going to feel as good as I can make you feel.
Okay, I love you. Okay, I'll be fine. I really will be fine. I
And
can't wait.
Andrew's going to be there. He's always clean.
And I've never gone with a car before. I've never been able to be like, right, we're leaving.
Oh my God, I just remembered something. In my dream last night, I was in a portaloo that was being taken apart. How mad is that? That's so crazy. And I was like, and it was being like dismantled. It wasn't like hard shell. It was like tarpaulin. I had a Benadryl before I went to bed because I was worried I wasn't going to be very tired. Because I did a preview yesterday, but in London.
How'd it go?
Average at best. I'd call it a draw with the
That'll
audience.
do.
Thank you to everyone who was at 2 North Down.
We do love our I want to be clear, we love our jobs.
No, but Catherine, I was in a portaloo. And that someone was taking the tarpaulin down, and I was like, "Oh, not yet!"
No.
And I know where it was. It was in this building right by where I live.
I'm
going to
ask a Helen Bauer question. Number 1 or number 2?
I don't know.
Goodness.
Was I even going?
Did
I
you
might have
wake
been
up
having a
weeing? Is the end of this that you woke up weeing?
You know the classic Portaloo fap?
What is a fap?
Oh, you know what a fap
God.
is.
In a Portaloo.
I fapped in a toilet before
Yeah.
at an airport.
Where? Because
Like in a cubicle.
Yeah.
A cubicle where people could hear
No,
you.
it was a cubicle that was like ceiling to floor.
Fine.
Like I was picking a dignified
That's
fap spot.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
my question was not where you were fapping, but where has your obsession with the word fap come about from? Because
Yeah.
it's only arisen in the last week or so.
Has it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fap.
Because it's very sort of like 2013 online
Is it?
word. Yeah.
I'd never heard it. But
Maybe
I gathered
it's in
from-
like a
I got
film.
the context.
Oh, I watched Black Hawk Down the other day. Maybe it's in that.
I
it.
doubt
I
Black Hawk
highly
Down
doubt
has a
it.
fapping
I
scene.
doubt
You know
it.
the best thing about Black Hawk Down?
What?
Phil Dunphy from Modern Family's in it.
Is he?
Well, literally for like 5 seconds.
I love Phil so much.
Me and Sunili were watching Black Hawk Down. I don't know why.
Who are you in Modern Family?
Who am I?
I know who I am.
I mean, I know who you are. You're Claire. You're Mitchell. I'm
I'm
sorry.
obviously Claire. Or Mitchell.
Either way, it's not good.
Which one am I? I
Claire
think I'm
and
Claire.
Mitchell.
I think I'm Claire. I think I'm Claire. I think Ellen is Phil, so that works out.
That makes sense.
She's such a Phil.
Claire and Phil.
Constantly trying to show me magic
I
tricks.
don't know. I guess I'd be Gloria.
Yeah, you think?
I can see
I
that.
guess I'd be Gloria.
You're not Gloria. You're Manny.
No, I guess I'd be Gloria.
You're Manny.
Andrew's Manny.
I was a Manny child, but I think
Yeah.
I'm now a mix of Cam and Mitchell.
I think you're a Cam and you're a Manny.
I think I'm their mum.
No.
Like Dee Dee, who just swans in every now and again.
No.
No.
I'm
you're-
Manny.
I think your mum's Dee Dee.
Yeah,
not
my mum
you.
is 100%
Yeah.
Dee Dee.
You might be like,
To the point where I'm not letting my mum watch Modern Family because I cannot deal with her turning her body into a tree at some point.
that's reasonable. That is reasonable.
I
That's so
cannot
reasonable
handle
and
the
fair.
pressure
I
of
get
that
it. I
happening.
really do get it. Who are you?
Maybe I am Manny. Maybe I just haven't realised it.
Am I definitely not Alex?
I can see why you say that.
I was an
but
Alex
no.
kid for sure. I was Alex as a kid for sure, but I am Claire. God damn
No,
it.
you're Claire. You've got too much of the motherly sort of like.
And I have too much rage, I think.
No, I think I'm Gloria. I'm sorry. I do think I'm Gloria.
Something to consider.
I have that way about me.
I don't know about that.
I think I do.
I don't. What way?
What, yeah.
I do.
What
What
way are we
way? How would
saying?
you
What
describe
way
It's
that
are we
like
way?
saying?
gorgeous, sort of like effortless, just like brilliance, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not Manny.
Yeah.
Come on, we cannot do this to me.
Manny with his tiny coffee
He's
in the morning.
so annoying. He's so annoying. And look, you're not annoying, Andrew.
Thank you.
But Manny is so annoying.
Are you a Cam? Maybe you're a Cam. You have a Cam about you.
I do like to sing.
You do, and you love drama.
I do.
Maybe it's Mitch and Cam is who you guys are, and I'm
Yeah.
Claire.
We do love each other.
We do, yes. And it makes sense you've fallen in love with a gay man.
Yeah,
It does
that
make
checks
sense
out.
for me.
That checks out.
Either way, Phil Dunphy's and Black Hawk Down.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot
recommend
that's how we got here.
Cute.
You know what happened in Somalia in the early 90s?
Oh my God, we cannot
I
make this
can't
handbrake
with
turn.
this.
We
I
cannot make
actually
this
can't
handbrake turn.
with this.
Awful.
I can't.
Awful.
with
No,
this.
but honestly,
Let me
it
say
was,
that if you
me
learned
and
it from
Sunil had to stop it and Google if it actually
if
happened.
you learned it from Black Hawk
Terrible.
Down, I know, but also if you learned it from Black Hawk Down, you didn't learn it right.
No, I learned enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. If you
Tell
say
you
so.
this, they had a
Just-
horrible time of it. Awful, awful war.
Uh-huh.
We just do a bit of decompression from that whiplash. It was...
Not Whiplash, it's Black Hawk Down. It's a film joke. Come on, someone's got a high five, little Helen. Yay! Best friends.
Fapping in an airport toilet.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down.
Yes.
Modern Family.
Yeah. Well, modern, that was sort of before, but yeah.
Somalia.
Uh-huh.
That's what we did within
In the
space of a
90s.
minute.
I'm sure it's better now.
Why are you
Yeah.
acting surprised?
It's just impressive.
And the
I
real
just-
shock is that I'm a workaholic. Now,
Yes.
Helen,
Whereas I'm watching Black Hawk Down in my downtime.
but genuinely,
Also, a Black Hawk isn't a helicopter.
yeah, we get it. We know.
Just in case
We
anyone
know,
didn't know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
about a helicopter that crashes. Well,
Yeah.
it's about more than that. It's brilliant. Definitely watch it.
So
Lots of killing.
What happened in Somalia in the 90s?
Oh, war, Catherine, war. There was this guy, name begins with A, and he was just like on, like literally just on one, and he was trying to like get all this power. And the Americans, I don't know why they got involved, but they've got so
That
many
feels
guns.
like it's probably
They
important.
might as well use it. They've probably got the infrastructure, so they go over. And they're just trying to get rid of him. But, like, they're supposed to do this operation that lasts 30 minutes, but the film's over 2 hours. Yeah.
Gosh.
And,
So what did you learn?
just war. Bad.
Right. So
Don't do
nothing. You
that.
learned nothing. Hey, here's what I've been doing lately.
What actually did happen then?
You know how I'm doing another quiz show soon, and I can't mention what the name is, but I don't want to be embarrassed like I was on House of Games.
I think you're going to be really good at it.
I think I'm going to be dog shit, but this time I'm actually trying.
I'm also pretty sure you've already mentioned it on the podcast, but I love that we're
oops.
now
I
backtracking.
know, I edited it out.
Thank
it's
you.
okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. And so,
Okay, well, I've told people in my
what
DMs.
what I'm trying to do is like learn about the world, but in ways that I find like more like manageable. So like listening to podcasts, listening to the news, been listening to news agents loads, and I have been listening to the news like properly
You
now
should not listen to the news.
for like 4 weeks. And let me say, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I think we might live in a failed state.
Yeah,
Yeah?
we do. That's just, I think, honestly, I think we all knew that.
Right. Okay. I'm finding it very overwhelming. Also,
Wait, define failed state? Like what you
well,
just
you know,
realised?
like we might not be able to afford water soon. Nobody could afford to live.
Yeah. Well, we're on an island, so that's lol. We'll be fine.
Weirdly, we've managed to fuck that up even, which is insane.
Wait, is that my dad's fault?
No.
Okay.
No, it's actually Canadian investors / the British government's fault for
The Canadians?
Well, the British government privatized water, which isn't like
Yeah.
privatizing air, and then some Canadians bought it, borrowed loads of money on its name, took that money and then sold it.
If anyone is struggling for water, Blue Peter did this years ago when I was little. You get 2 plastic bottles
I
and
don't
you
like this.
sellotape them together at the nozzle like that, and you piss in one of them, you leave it out in the sun, and the piss rises, creates condensation, which then goes into the other bottle, and then when that turns into water, it's been filtered, and you drink that.
And Blue Peter used the word piss.
Probably urine.
I don't
Yeah.
want any part of that, and this hasn't. Made
It
me
might
feel
have been
better.
Bear Grylls. It might not have been Blue
This
Peter.
has not. Yeah.
On second thoughts.
That makes a lot more sense. I was like, and this is a kids show.
Wait, Blue
or-
Peter's the
we didn't have Blue Peter in Ireland, but I can't imagine Connie Hook being like.
I did watch the Connie Huck years. She was great.
I wasn't
hope
raised
she's
on
doing
Blue
good.
Peter, but I once took my friend Georgie to like a celebrity party, and Connie Hook was there, and Georgie lost her goddamn mind.
Holy shit.
It's very sweet to watch. Whereas I was like, who?
No,
What?
she's a legend. She might have done the piss in the bottle.
I don't think it was Blue Peter.
I don't think it was either.
I don't think so. It can't have been.
Tell you what I do with news though. Just watch News Round because it's general news but for kids. So it is sort of like
Gently.
It's gently done. They did a special on the Ukraine war, which has won loads of awards. News Round.
Gosh.
It's amazing. It sort of follows the stories of children.
I listened to Ukraine cast. That's good.
Yeah.
It's all just and like I was listening to the situation with the morality police are back in Iran now.
Yeah.
It's all just very intense.
Yeah.
I want there to be, and possibly would like to make, / is there any commissioners listening? I'd like to host the Good News channel.
Catherine.
Wouldn't that be so nice?
I understand
But not
what you're
like Word of the
saying.
Lord. Just like you and me being like, a woman like saved a baby from a duck.
That has to exist.
Or
there is a thing called Good News Network. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
I can't remember
that's
who
the
set it
thing.
up, but I think a famous YouTuber.
no, but I want it to be like me telling Helen and Helen being delighted.
We can do that on this podcast.
What happened with the duck?
Should we bring back parish announcements and make it good news?
Oh,
Oh,
damn it.
yeah.
I thought we forgot about that.
Parish announcements.
That's a sweet idea.
I think it's going
yeah.
to be
Okay,
tricky
great.
for us to pivot into good news when I'm still learning about like the 90s.
Right. Well, good news. Huge increase in women in Parliament that in the 90s.
Ugh. Well, good news for some, not for me.
Started to develop AIDS treatment in the 90s.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was that Diana, wasn't it? 'Cause she went and shook the hand.
Yes, Diana personally.
Yes, she's
My
sort of-
babe.
Although, you know, Margaret Thatcher invented the Mr. Whippy, the ice cream.
No, she didn't.
She did. She was a scientist before she was a prime minister. And
She lived above a shop.
No, she honestly.
saw
I thought she was a greengrocer.
No, Margaret Thatcher worked on Mr. Whippy. Let's not celebrate her too much.
Andrew, you're bad at good news.
Yeah, this is really.
Sorry.
How's
This
that
is really
good news?
confusing
I
and I
don't want her
don't
anywhere
like it.
close to my Whippy.
Yeah, get her out of my good news section.
If anyone who's not listening in the UK, a Mr. Whippy is an ice cream.
Yeah.
She's involved.
Why can't it be a Mrs. Whippy?
There's
Oh, because she invented it. And she hates strident women.
Does she?
Yeah, she famously
Don't look
said
in the
that.
mirror, Margaret. Oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
She can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some good news. We got there in the end. Yay!
Oh, and so is the man that was doing that stuff in Somalia.
Let's not make the good news section just people
The
we
death
don't
of
like.
bad
who die.
leaders.
Queen Elizabeth II. Is Ghislaine Maxwell, is she still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker! Tune in next week to find out if she does. How mad would that be? Should we have a guess? We'll have a guess.
We'll have a guess on that.
Oh, and it's such a good guess.
It is a really lovely
It's
guess.
such a good
Please
guess.
welcome to the Trusty Hog studio,
Desiree Burch! What's up, Hogs? It's Helen Bauer here. Just to let you know, I am going on tour this year. It's starting in Edinburgh. I'll be there from the 14th to the 27th, and then I'm hitting up Europe. I'm hitting up Paris, Harlem, Copenhagen, the places you've been begging for me to go. And then all around the UK, apart from Wales. For some reason, I don't have a Welsh date yet. So please, if you're in Wales and you have a venue, just let me know and I'll just come there. We'll have a bit of fun. All the tickets are available on my website and I'd love to see you there. And please bring Helen gifties. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Welcome, Desiree Burch! I remember the first time I learnt that is a film called Jersey Girl with
Okay.
Ben
No, we're not- we're
Affleck
actually
and
not.
J-Lo. And he's like, his wife dies right at the
Helen,
beginning
we're
of the
not
film.
starting the chat with
About how to
Desiree
wipe a baby.
about wiping babies' bums.
But
I
she's
mean, it's
interested.
great because I love talking about that because I am never gonna have to do it.
Yes.
Never gonna have
It's
to do it.
so nice when you've
stoked.
made the decision and you're like,
Yes.
oh, this is a thing that somebody else has to deal with, and that's not me. Great.
Yes,
great.
But we
great.
have to
Although,
know.
wait, I need to knock on wood. That's
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah.
Where's
Oh
the
my god,
thing?
yeah.
Should we figure that out?
Cue surprise pregnancy
Yeah,
for
I'm
Desiree
just saying,
Burch.
never, literally never say never because that's the next damn thing you're
Yeah,
about to
it's so
do.
true.
Yeah,
So
so it's
true.
like I'm so glad I've decided not
Yeah.
to do that. Okay, how about that?
2 weeks later, pregnant.
Seriously, like
Oh,
with
God.
quadruplets. I mean, because the older you get, the
Quadruplets.
more you just like release eggs.
Wait, is that more likely to have multiple births?
The older
Like-
you get, because your body's just like, come on, just go. And so like you'll just release 2 eggs on a period or whatever, and then it's like I just met a friend of my boyfriend's. They have triplets. They went from no kids to 3
And they
kids
didn't
because they were
have
in their.
IVF?
No, they just were like,
We
in
should
their late
trigger
30s,
warning
and they were
this.
like, okay, let's try. And then it was just like, and she's just like, she came over to the brunch and she was just like, I'm so tired. I'm just so, and they're just like,
She's
okay.
just a freaking machine for.
Yeah, and they don't
Oh my
even know
gosh.
if they're identical. There's one girl and 2 boys, but like there are different stages where either it was separate eggs or the egg can split. Like they won't know until the kids are like 3. They're like, oh, they look really the same. I guess they're identical.
God wanted us to have triplets, we'd have 3 tits.
Yeah.
That's how I think about
that's
it.
pretty much.
I have to assume that if you have like identical triplets or twins, you name them, but then
Yeah.
So, like,
No, they mark them. They mark them with Sharpies.
what are you talking about?
Like,
Oh, in
I
the hospital.
Yeah. And then the
Okay.
parents like continually mark them because, like, you know, I
Behave
love my big
yourself.
family shows. There's
No,
one
they
in America at the
don't.
moment called Outdaughtered.
Yeah.
They've got 5 daughters who are the quints. They're quintuplets, and they
hate it.
mark
I
them.
hate it.
I love big family
5
shows.
Oh, do you want a big family?
I don't know.
Is that
I
what-
think
are
it's
you
a
just-
fascination.
A horrible fascination. Like, this is a cautionary tale. What if you have 5
I used
kids
to
at
want a
once?
Von Trapp situation,
Yeah.
like a singing group that would all like love on me.
I will say I think like efficiency wise, sorry to be that guy, if you're gonna have 5 children,
Yeah,
all in
knock
one
'em out.
go kind of feels like I mean,
Yeah.
it would be hell, but like the back to backness, that like endless 6 years
One birthday
of,
party a year.
of
whatever.
that shit sounds
The
awful.
worst possible case scenario, I have friends who got like married in their 30s, have kids. They had like 2 that were like, I think they had 2, maybe 1 or 2. I mean, we're not that close friends.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
And
the
you're
kids were
talking
definitely
about
like
the podcast, sure.
14, like 12,
Yeah.
13, 14 in the pandemic, got pregnant.
No.
And we're like, literally like 8 months, like, I think we made a mistake. Because, like, yeah, you were almost free, dummy. And now you
no.
just restarted the clock.
Why would you do that?
I bet- 'cause
you were
I-
so close to the end game.
Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, well, you know, we're probably not going to get pregnant now. You're going to get double pregnant, like the later
for
you
I'm telling you, it's about forward planning with babies because, like, I keep saying to my friends, like,
Hot take.
But my friend, no, fuck you.
Hot take, you should plan.
You must.
I know this is going to be controversial with some people, but maybe think about it
take.
before.
But it's not even when, like, how will you have them? It's like, I want to have a baby if all my friends are having babies at the same time. So we don't have to go through that one, like, oh, God, they're going to bring their baby. We can't smoke
Yeah,
and
no,
drink
I
around
mean,
the
it's
baby.
not
like wedding
Let's all
planning.
quit smoking for 3 years. By the time they're 4, they can run away from the smoke if they don't like it. Like, I don't want to wait that long. So it's like...
really can't.
But I do think there's something in doing it when your friends do it.
Yes,
Because otherwise you're
communist.
just such a fucking buzzkill.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to hang out with your baby if I,
mean,
don't
the
have a
thing is-
baby. But if I have a baby, I want everyone to have a
Then
baby.
the babies
only
can
hang
hang
out
out
so
with
they
each
have
other.
to hang out with
Yeah.
me because
But
otherwise
someone's got to be the first. Someone's got to be the one that's out there with the older kid.
But we
No,
all
no,
have that 18-year-old friend that started way too early.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
you no.
To the point where they've just got into MDMA now.
Yeah.
At the same time
That's
their
the problem
kid has.
is that, like,
so they're dropping
I'm
together.
at the age where all of my friends are getting divorced and have no fucking idea what they're doing whatsoever because they never had a 20s. They like, you know, or they met that person
yeah,
in college,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is. They got together. Like I have a friend, they have a kid, you know, kid, whatnot. But like I have a different friend. She has 2 kids. She had breast cancer, had to do the whole double mastectomy, everything, you know, then, you know, got a boob, whatever, all the other stuff. But like her whole life was like marriage, 2 kids, surviving cancer. And now she's like in her 40s and she's like, we're breaking up. I want to live. What do I do? And I'm like, girl, you do not want to be out here on these streets or on these apps. Like it is literally
You've already been
the
through
jungle.
it. Yeah, it
like
really
don't
is.
put yourself through
She
this.
could be friends with my mum. My mum's doing a whole sort of like...
Maybe let's set
run
them up
around
because
thing.
like, yeah, she really was
I
like, are we
don't-
going to go to the club? And it's like, we had a bachelorette party for my friend who was getting married at 44, right? She was like, are we going to do like going out to the club? It was like, we are 44.
going for
We're going
dinner."
to go for dinner and we're going to go
Home.
home. What are you talking about?
the club. We don't even know where the club,
Club is anymore.
How
We
would
would
we
not
get
get
to
into
the
the
club?
club.
What are you talking?
Can we wear comfortable shoes at the club? No, we're not going.
Thank you.
I saw some girls in Manchester. It was pouring rain at the weekend. I was gigging in Manchester and they were tottering around in their
Yeah, they
stilettos.
love
And I
that
was
in
like,
Manchester.
you are in so much pain.
Yes, and
no.
also you're going down a wet cobblestone street right now. How do you not all stack it, lose your teeth, and then go bloody into the club?
They do.
They
I remember
do.
my
They
friend
do.
losing her teeth on a night out. It was awful. Like, and then the whole party thought that I punched her in the face.
Which, I don't know, kind of good credit.
I didn't touch her. I did not touch her.
But if I would have touched her, I would have knocked her out.
Jazz Berry, now married and pregnant. We left at the house party. She needed a piss. And I was like, the street's fine. We've already said our goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was standing up from her piss, she forgot to balance herself or put her hands out and landed on the curb.
On her face.
American History X style. And just lost her teeth. And I was like, we've got to go back to the party now. 3.
Wow,
and then
that's enough.
I was outside the party trying to call a taxi to take us to the hospital. And then everyone was like, did you hear that Helen beat the fuck out of Jazz? It's like, why would I do that?
Why would you do
Why would
that?
I do
Because
that?
you were disgusted about her public urination. You were like,
No,
come on.
you're way more likely
Anything,
to be.
I'm so supportive of public urination.
And
be
also, if
honest,
anything, so jealous of anyone getting a cut or any sort of. You'd have preferred that you.
I'd love to have
your
lost
teeth.
my teeth and have
She
all the
loves
guys
to
try and
wait
take
around,
care
like,
of
Have
me.
like a Fight Club sort of.
No, she
lust?
loves to be taken care of.
I have a victim
Oh.
complex.
Oh.
Like I wanted to be a fainter when I was younger for the attention.
What's your best story of like having something happen to you and having like the best care taken of you? Like, did you roll an ankle and just have people like
She
you know,
wishes.
pampering you
No,
for
last
a
time
week?
I rolled an ankle, it was like 2 steps outside of my house. I hobbled back in and cried in pain. I called my agent because I was supposed to be doing Soho Theatre that evening. We had to pull it, and Sunil Patel, my housemate, was in, and I went, I need to go to the hospital. It hurts so bad, And he went, I've got a kebab coming, we've got to wait. And then I was screaming in pain while his Deliveroo came, and he ate a kebab whilst watching me writhe.
And,
And
then
then-
they went.
And then took me to A&E.
Like, was he driving you, or he was just
No,
accompanying
we
you?
got an Uber.
Because then why didn't you just go to A&E and be like, screw you?
interesting.
Sue,
Because I was on the
we're
phone with 111.
Okay.
And then they went,
There's
you
a lot
need to
going
go in, we'll give you an appointment.
Right.
Nope.
Okay.
And that doesn't exist.
Nope.
It didn't. We got there and they were like, no, tomorrow morning for injuries. Then I had to go back the next morning.
What the fuck?
No joke.
And you didn't even get a kebab amidst all of this?
Yes.
No, he wouldn't even let me have a bite. And I was in so
Poor
much pain. He's like, if you're
Helen.
in that much pain, you won't be hungry. And it's like, pain makes me hungry.
Of course. Honestly,
Does
life
it?
makes me hungry. Anything makes me hungry.
Pain
And
does not make me hungry.
well, look, anything that can be soothed with food.
Oh my god, that's such a good point.
Right?
I'll be that woman in hospital
You know?
giving birth with a
I
Domino's
want to put that
pizza.
on an apron.
Honestly, okay, merch.
Put
let's get
it on an
going, right? But it's
apron.
true. Like, I mean, even if you're not hungry, it'll still, like, you know, everybody, that image of someone going like, is so classic, right? And
Yeah,
you just
that's
starts
so
like,
true. Baby on the nipple. From,
yeah, and then you're going, and it's like somehow better, even though it's still shit.
I had an
Guys, I have
average
so much to learn
preview
from
last
you
night.
both.
I got a Bounty ice cream on the way home.
Yum. From
Oh,
where?
that's nice.
Just
Just
the
a
corner
standard
shop.
corner shop one. Do they do a Bounty's
Yeah.
like the Snickers and Mars one?
Yeah. Where have you
So
been?
it's coconut ice cream?
Yeah, it's coconut ice cream surrounded by chocolate.
Oh.
It's
I like that.
delightful.
Right.
Should we
Okay, I'm going
know.
to take you guys to Tesco right
wrap
after
this
this.
thing up?
just go to Tesco?
Yeah. Hey Andrew, could you do a quick run? That'd be great.
Wait, which ice cream?
Or do a podcast and then we'll go?
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh no.
What
I
ice
want
cream
that.
do you get when you go shopping?
Snickers.
Snickers is okay.
I
I
love
get
Snickers.
the vegan Magnums because I'm lactose intolerant.
Those are actually not bad
They're
at
not
all.
bad at all. They're not
Do you know
bad at
what's
all.
pretty good is the vegan cornetto.
Oh, they make one? Oh, I've never
Also
seen
pretty
it.
good.
I mean,
also pretty good.
Because there's so few non-dairy ice creams, and literally the other night,
Gelato shops are your friend.
what's that?
Gelato shops are your friend.
Oh, yeah.
They do a lot of vegan options.
Snowflake.
Oh,
which is
thank
around
you
the corner
very,
from
very
here.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because, yeah, I did one of those, like, get an Uber Eats to go to the co-op or whatever and bring
Yeah.
groceries. And I was like, oh, they have the non-dairy Ben & Jerry's. Perfect. I'll get one, and I'll get one for Celios who can have all the ice cream in the world.
Yeah.
And they bring 2 normal ice creams.
No.
And I was like, can I leave you a negative 5-star review? Because right now I'm watching someone enjoy ice cream while I'm
the
not. Because they just were like, oh, here's regular ice cream. And I'm like, some of us can't have it! I specifically ordered this!
You specifically ordered it, and also it's like the only good alternative. Like,
Yes,
like vegan ice cream,
yes.
okay, but like vegan cheese is still
Is
shit.
dumb. It's dumb.
So
I mean,
shit
there are
still.
some. You have to order a bespoke one.
Yeah, you have to
even
go
when
to the fromagerie.
Yes, and when
but,
I
like,
did do that,
Wait,
even
what's
still, 60% of their cheeses are
Yeah.
pretty palatable.
Do you know
You're
what's
still
good
this
is
is
the
a spread.
Chiesi one. The Newcastle on Tyne one is they have like CHEASE.
Oh, okay, all right.
And they're pretty good. And
Okay.
apparently the fromagerie is quite good. But
The
like
fromagerie is all right. It's like a shop that just
I'm
sells
so sorry.
only vegan cheese.
I'm not vegan. And
No,
I don't,
you're
I have
German and
lactose.
European, and you can process dairy like it's
Yeah.
your
Thank
job.
you so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
were just like, I'm churning it inside of me. And I only poop butter. Like
Yeah.
it's beautiful, but like,
Were you in the? No. Okay. That's fun. Me
But I
going
would've
in with
been-
my like sourdough baguette, like
Being like, honestly,
it in
it's a
the
really
toilet.
great setup. If no one knows, no one complains. Let's be honest.
I hate you both, and I hate this conversation now. I don't enjoy this. This
I'm
is
sorry.
no good.
Okay,
So do they
alright.
do vegan
Sports.
ice creams in like gelato shops properly? Because I remember like back in the, one of my best friends when I was younger was lactose intolerant, so we used to have Swedish glaze ice cream at hers,
Oh,
which
that's
was
Swedish
the.
glasses made from bananas. It's
Is that what it? Oh, we both
it's
liked
fine.
it enough.
It's fine. It's
But-
actually not of the ones you can just buy in the shop. It's fine.
I thought it was
I mean,
always
but is the
sorbet.
texture? Yeah, it's just like
No,
a banana
you can
sorbet,
get, you
right?
can get other ones that are like slightly creamier. So
Yeah, and I feel like anything that's got a nut flavor, if you can have nuts, like it's
Yeah,
easily turned into an
I
ice cream.
agree.
Why not? Like anytime I see a normal pistachio ice cream, I'm like, why can't you just make a non-dairy
could
one?
just be-
Like, it's
yeah.
just-
What
it's
was the
nuts,
one that I
you
had
know?
from Snowflake with you guys the other day? I had pistachio and Ferrero Rocher ice cream.
Wow.
I thought you had Kinder Bueno.
Did I have Kinder Bueno? Maybe. That I would also go for a Kinder Bueno.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is both
So
great
good.
stuff.
This
Okay,
is
now I want
fantastic.
There's
ice
a place
cream.
called Ellie's where my brother lives in Meath, and they make a sauce that they cover the whole cup in before they even put your stuff in and then pour the sauce over. But it is a Ferrero Rocher sauce. They have melted down Ferrero Rocher and they've melted down Nutella
Stop.
and they've made it into a hot heroin,
Mm-hmm.
and they put that in the cup and then they cover everything in it. And I dream of it
Yeah.
frequently.
Because it's comfort. To bring it back to what you said, you can
Taste
comfort.
in your dreams?
I can.
I could smell in my dream last night. I got trapped in a portaloo they were
Oh, I
taking
can't
apart.
with you. I can't with you. I can't with you. Desiree Burch, we usually answer listener problems.
Please.
Now, here's my question. Because there's a trope that you've discussed in your show before, I think in a theatre show I saw in
Yes.
years ago in Vaults, of the old sage wise black woman.
Yes.
So I'm already nervous to ask you to solve people's problems.
I mean, I
But-
show up, I fix it, I leave. No problem. Don't need to know where I've come from or gone to. It's all
No
good.
other
Let's do
needs
it.
of your own,
No.
no other desires. But my question is, what kind of advice giver are you?
I mean, I don't know. I get all like sort of grounded and spiritual and quite real, and I usually tell people the shit they don't want to hear, especially if they're not in the room. If they are in the room, I kind of just listen to them and I'm like, sounds like a bad situation. You should probably get out of it, but live your life.
You're doing radical honesty therapy.
I mean, only
Okay.
for others.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah,
doing
not
radical
for
honesty.
yourself.
For
No, no, no.
myself, if
But
someone
you
did it to
genuinely
me, I'd be
believe-
like, I'm cutting you off for at least 5 years.
But you believe you can solve people's problems.
I mean, I believe that I have pretty decent insight into
Me too.
people's
I
problems.
believe that
you know,
too.
just like where that's coming from and what you should probably do. Which
Okay.
is usually like, gonad up and be honest about it and,
Okay, I'm
confront it.
single and I've never had a relationship.
That was me for most of my life until about 35, and when I moved here, that was like a semi-relationship. Like I'm in my 40s having the first time where I'm like, oh, I'm actually in a reciprocal in love relationship with someone.
Yeah, because I never get the reciprocal love.
Yes.
Like it's always like either I'm in love and they think I'm disgusting, or they're in love with me and I think they're gross.
Yes, I did that quite a bit too. Are you attracted to narcissists?
I don't know. I haven't really dived
like
into
if you,
it.
just like,
What
are you
Helen
attracted to guys who are like, oh, I'm arty and I'm cool? Like, what's your
Yes.
type? What's your
Yeah,
type?
I do like it when they're-
guys who are super self-focused and you're like, but I love you and you love you, but will you love me? And they're just like, no, I'm just gonna keep loving me.
I like it if they have a job they're really passionate about.
That's good.
But I think I like
prefers
that.
if they think she's disgusting.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that I did quite a lot of that dating because I was trying to, for me, as a Gold Star lifelong fatty, I was trying to get like
Gold
that.
Star fatty.
Gold
That's
Star
gotta
fatty.
be more of a
Hey, it's hard to be
thing.
lifelong because there's a lot of new fatties and they're just
yes,
sort of joining
I know,
in.
just showing up. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
okay, you had a baby and it stayed.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
you're like,
impressive.
oh, body positive. You're like, get out of my face with that. You don't even know. Like, we've been here for the struggle. So I think.
Oh, I've got something I should tell you after
Nice.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that I was constantly looking for a trophy boyfriend. I was looking for the ideal of what I saw on TV and I saw other people having, and I thought I was supposed to want. I also didn't necessarily have a great relationship with my father. I mean, it's not. It's just that plays into if you date men what you're looking for.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
am not looking
it's
for Michael. That just
yeah,
be
but
very
no,
clear.
I spent a whole bunch of time looking for someone who was not like my dad and finding
Yeah.
people who were covertly like my dad.
Yeah.
And also, that's still a reaction to your dad, right? Even
Yes.
to be like, not you, is still
It's
limiting
still
my parameters based on,
On you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a reaction.
I don't want to date
that.
a man that lives in a one-bedroom rental in Brighton with no curtains and works
Yeah,
at
but
the
You'd be
sewage
fucking
How
farm.
many
doing
times
well.
have you dated somebody who has basically the equivalent of that in like Hackney?
Okay, yeah. Oh my God!
So, yeah.
But wait,
With the bed against the wall, so I have to climb over them to go to the toilet in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
but wait, what is this? I'm interested in this idea of like looking for a trophy boyfriend to what end? To make you feel...
To make me feel like I belong. To make me feel like I'm sexual too. I'm a girl too. I can find somebody who makes me look like I belong in the world of people who are allowed to have relationships, which comes from a deeply low sense of self-esteem that I definitely maintain throughout the majority of my life. And I'm only starting to dig my way out of enough to be like, you're amazing. There's no reason for you to feel this bad about yourself, but also the places that comes from like came before I even showed up in my family.
I was just gonna say, by the way,
You know what
I was
I mean?
also just gonna say, like, if there exists a person who has managed not to internalize fat phobia, like how could you not, as a woman in the world, as a person in the world, in the structures that we exist in, and then add on to that the racism inherent in fat phobia?
Yes.
Like, how could you not? Like, it's easy to be like, not easy, but like, I think it's very like responsibility taking to be like, that was low self-esteem in a way, because then it's like that works all at your door, but the structures are fucked.
They're there. Yeah, it's like it is not my fault, but I am the only one who is ever going to deal with the fact
You
that
gotta live
like,
your life.
For like several different points of view, I am seen as the worst thing, like a cautionary tale. Don't be fat, and certainly don't be black and fat and female. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't be those things. And it's like, but some of us gotta be. So, and we also still deserve love. And I mean, all of my 20s were just like a fuck fiesta of trying to prove otherwise to myself. And then after you go through a bunch of people, you're like, yeah, I'm clearly fuckable, but that doesn't mean that I feel that much different about myself. So clearly the answer isn't inside of all of
I
these
had to
nutsacks.
work on my self-esteem.
But I mean, the thing
It's
is,
so
like,
annoying when you remember it, isn't it? I'm constantly
It
being like,
is.
oh, for God.
No, but
I
it's just
can't
like,
do-"
there's also like the finances of having to work on my self-esteem.
Of course,
That's so
yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like literally meditation is free. You know, listen to a podcast and doing affirmations is free. And also like does this exist anywhere else in your family structure? Because when I go back and look at my family, I'm like, we all have shit self-esteem. And there are really like structural reasons and also just like historical reasons why like everybody was like a sad sack and then found another sad sack and then created children that they never talked to or engaged with, and they're more sad sacks. And I mean, I'm painting with a broad brush. Like there's
No,
definitely
you're painting-
nuance in there.
you're talking
You
about-
look like so deeply sad, and I'm so sorry.
No,
to
but
be
we
this
inherit-
I
person.
wanted you to tell me that he was just around the corner.
The thing is, he is, but you have to give up on him entirely. You have to give up on the idea of him in a way and just be like, I'm going to set up my life the way that I want it without him, because one thing Dick loves is interrupting plans. If you have plans to do other things where you're like, I'm going to be single, I'm going to go here, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Dick is like, oh, can I get in here and fuck up your whole design?
Yes.
Yes, Dick loves that. So if you want to manifest Dick, build a world where no Dick can be inside of, and Dick really wants to get in there. That's the fast track. But in the meantime, you know, self-esteem,
I'm having the
personal
greatest
growth.
time of my life. This is such good advice. It's such good advice. And also, like,
I feel like I'm at church.
me
Yes,
too. Me
so do I, because
too.
I
Amen.
cannot stop sweating.
And I
Amen.
can't stop clapping. I'm like, amen.
Put the antennas up.
Lord, the light
No.
of your love
Different
is
churches,
shining.
different churches.
Totally. Oh my God, I went to a Church of England wedding once, which I'm sure
welcome.
was
Sorry.
amazing. It was
No, they're great.
like
I have to sing my own fucking song.
Look, but I would imagine even Catholic churches have some allegiance to rhythm or melody, but like a Church of England, like every time you think naturally, musically, we're gonna zig, they're like, no, we're gonna zag over here and carry it out 3 fucking like seconds longer than it needs to be.
And
Doesn't fit
why
any
are we
meter
singing
whatsoever.
at all? That is what a choir is for.
Seriously.
If you can't do it, there's people for that.
Yeah, and seriously, it's like,
Please.
nobody here knows the words. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's
just
why we got him, Bookie.
yeah, like find 5 people. Surely each of them, one of them has a couple of black friends. Get them in here to sing, so we can all have a good time and move on with this
Or
wedding.
Catholics at least have catchy tunes, and they are not afraid of an instrument.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes.
why Protestants hate instruments so much. Just put a backing
Because it glorifies the
track.
devil.
Yeah, of course, exactly. Yep.
A backing track will cover cover a multitude of sins. And
We'll do with our
Yes.
keyboard that used to be an
Yes.
organ but then got stolen.
Yes,
Oh
they
my
don't even do
God.
that modern American thing where like some nice little guy in a suit comes out with a guitar. You know what I mean? There's like, because it's like there's the
Yeah.
churches with like it's a big crier and tambourines, or there's the churches where it's like a guy who just comes out and he's
Fine.
just like Jesus, 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 and you're like even that it's like at least he wrote a song on purpose.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Jesus, and it wasn't just like a collection of verses.
Shine, Jesus, shine.
Andrew just took out his headphones, which I
Yes.
assume the listeners
Because
also
we're
will
like,
have done.
but it's okay, Jesus, you can shine.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And he
Okay.
will. And he will.
And
But
he
this
would-
is
he'd
cool.
like to do
Praise
that.
God.
I feel like we don't hear enough people being like, I had my first meaningful relationship, like first like reciprocal adult relationship that I was looking for at 40.
Yeah.
Like, and then also that's because I did some work on my self-esteem and also built a life that functions for me. Because I really think we are hell-bent, and people do it to you all the time and it fucks me off, hell-bent on telling women that the reason that they don't have that relationship is because they've become too independent.
Yeah, I mean,
You just don't have love. You don't have space for love in your life. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, seriously.
I watched
mean,
Black
Oh.
Hawk Down for fun the other day. I've got space.
Yeah,
like there's
seriously, I've
time.
got
There's
like,
time.
Yes, I would gladly put that
Yeah.
down if there. Yeah, but also there are. Okay, so I will say this. I was lucky in that a global pandemic happened, and for me, I did have the time only because every other time, like I knew when I was just like, if this had been any other time, I would have been so busy working every night, and you're a normie with a 9-to-5 job, I just wouldn't have, because I am so ambitious, like I would, you do need to have space to waste with a relationship. And that doesn't mean that you can't have your career, like you're going to have that career, but you are also going to need to find a guy who respects the fact that you have that career.
I know, but in
and has his own
lockdown, I
thing.
got Pokemon Go.
And you were like, well, now you dating Pikachu.
I know. I've got. Well,
And honestly,
I'm a legacy player, level 47
He's
since
very
48.
good to
Like, it's
her.
not been a waste of time. It's not been a waste of time. Yeah. But still. What are the odds and chances of that happening again?
But look, I'm not saying you need to give up your hobbies. When that person comes, you're going to find the space for them, and they're going to be seeking out that space. But also, the person is going to look different than the people you're looking at. I guarantee it.
Really?
Say
Yes.
more.
Yeah. I just think that I spent a lot of time going like, oh, I don't want a guy who's shorter than me, or I don't want a guy who's, like looks like this, or I don't want to whatever. And I want this thing. And it was just like, I just wanted an idea. I wanted a concept. I wanted to attain something. I didn't necessarily want the people who wanted me, which, I'm a tall person, always a shorter guy.
I know, but I think we've talked about this off stage
Yes.
before, but it's like.
I mean, it's like an inch shorter.
I know, but it's not so much. I don't give a fuck how tall you are.
Yes.
But I hate that it's a problem for you.
Yes.
I hate that the guy.
that guy is
then,
not your guy.
He's not your guy.
But it's
My guy,
so
he doesn't care. He's just
frustrating.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
they-
obsessed with you,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's perfect. That's exactly what it should be. Because I'm just like,
so
sometimes I'm just like,
nice.
why are you into me? Like, I'm literally sitting here like Al Bundy looking at, and he's just
Who's
like,
Al
Al
Bundy?
Bundy's a catch.
Who's Al Bundy?
Do you, oh,
Ted
you're
Bundy,
too young
I
for
know.
Al Bundy. Yes, no, so not
No.
a serial killer from
No,
Married with Children,
Married with
which is a show
Children.
Oh,
in the 80s and 90s.
Jay Pritchard from
Yes,
Modern
yes,
Family.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, but it's that classic like come home, hand in the pants, which is a really comfortable position.
so
It's
good,
So cozy.
yeah.
What? You're
It
getting
re-
cozy now?
Yeah, exactly. And just being like, I'm just being me and I'm not trying.
Do you go to sleep with your fingers on your clit like you're masturbating?
I have fallen asleep on
Yeah,
a vibrator
right,
before.
yeah. And
I
then
have
you wake up and you're
I
like,
have
what the
fallen
fuck
asleep on a
happened?
vibrator before.
Yeah.
Like where I was like, that was really good, and immediately passed out and woke up to like just like a burning.
Yeah,
It was a battery operated, so like I didn't electrocute.
Desiree Burch, I love you so much. And can I also say that occasionally we'll say to all of our guests, if you end up saying anything too personal, you decide you want to take that out later. but may I say we
Stand
can't
by
offer
it.
you that assurance because that would be the whole interview.
So,
So
yeah,
far.
everything
You
I
get
said has
there,
been
right?
the most personal
And I
thing.
love
So
it.
here we
I love
are.
it.
Here
No,
we
but it's
are.
also, and it's why Helen's taking advice for the first time I've ever seen my whole life.
Good.
But I mean, it's gonna be
Wow.
fine.
Yeah, but a lot of the advice was like,
Yours-
during lockdown, that's a good time to do it. And it's like, well, it's done.
No,
you know?
No.
You're still young. What my advice to you is bang everybody you can, because at some point you're going to be exhausted of doing that, and you're going to need memories later. Because you are going to find that person, you're going to wind up with them, you're going to be like, this is great, and after the honeymoon wears off, you're like, oh yeah, and that means I'm not fucking other people. That's not necessarily true if you find someone poly, but You probably
But
won't.
she doesn't have the time for that.
So there you go. And you're
But
going
I've
to need
had
the
so
memories
much
of being
bad
like,
sex already.
oh, wait a second. So let's, okay. A lot of sort of casual sex can be bad.
Yeah.
But use that as an opportunity to practice being sort of like, oh no, I'm going to just be like, hey, you're not done.
Yes.
Like,
You
because
don't-
you're never
when
going to see
they-
that guy again,
When
probably.
they put on the Goofy movie, instead of finishing you, say, hey, you're not done, turn that off.
Yes.
I had an
Ooh,
incident with the
ooh.
Goofy movie.
Or here's a nice one that's just like low-key offensive if you're not there yet. Just immediately when he finishes and he's done, just pull out your vibrator and then really come right in front of him so he can see what he did not manage to achieve with you.
No, I like that.
That's
Yeah,
hot.
that's great. And you don't have to say shit. He's just
That's
going to feel
hot.
really bad.
That's
Because he's
hot.
like, oh, that's what it looks like when you come. And that would have been really exciting if I did that and I didn't.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
that's the thing. It does mean you have to travel with a vibrator or bring them back to you.
I already do.
Okay, great. We're good. Yep.
Just in case I'm in the toilet or on a train.
But yeah.
Toilet in a train, whatever.
Yes.
She's-
Yeah. I actually did try once in a toilet in a train. I got so horny on the train. I was like, look,
you
it's a
just kept
quiet
dashing.
carriage. There's no one there. It'll be fine.
were you leaning
And then
in
I was like, I sat on the, I like put
On
the
the
lid
bar?
down.
Oh, okay.
And then I sort of like put my legs out.
No.
And I was like,
Vibrator?
okay.
Vibrator?
Like, no vibrator, just fingers. It
Oh
was
my
an
god!
emergency.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
like the train bathroom specifically.
It's
I've
tricky.
been in other bathrooms, but that one is very tricky. And
That's
also
so
the
tricky.
place where you like literally want to touch no surface, and
Yes,
you're like,
that's my. Who
all
sits on
of
the
it.
fucking
Because
lid?
when you're horny, your disgust reflex goes.
It's
It's
true.
famously, it's a
Actually,
science
true.
thing.
That is
Because
true.
otherwise no
That's
one
true.
would fuck.
No,
I was
yeah, 'cause
I
it's
was
all-
on the train
yeah.
like fucking eye rolling, gagging for it out of nowhere. Like I could barely breathe.
Had the trains gotten you started, or was it just like a horny wind
The
went
train
through?
has a nice motion to it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
What was I doing? Maybe I was probably listening to something that just sent me to
Oh,
fucking.
that can
yeah.
do it. If you hear a
Okay,
certain
tricky,
voice
tricky,
or
tricky.
something.
But then I couldn't even get there in the bathroom, so then I had to leave the
course.
bathroom, and it was so obvious. Like everyone knew what I was like.
No
I
one
walked
knew,
into the
babe.
toilet like.
Sorry, just gagging for a while.
Like,
Yeah,
like my
exactly.
knees shaking, like. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Came out like 4 minutes later, like.
Now I'm very proud of you for that, because I would have had been like, oh no, what do they think I'm doing? I would have come out and been like, I was actually wanking. I wasn't just like eating in there and breathing heavily. Would have explained to an entire tank or
The
people who
idea
didn't
of
care.
any of that, when I'm like, I go, if I have to go to those loos, I am like,
Yeah.
take a tissue to open the door.
Yeah.
Take a tissue to lock the door. Make up like one of those prison seats on the thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Go to the toilet whilst trying to like not touch anything. Wash my hands. Use a tissue to open the door. Go back and hand
Sanitize, yeah.
And then for the next hour and a half, try to get my shoulders to move
Oh, to
back,
come back down
to the
because you
level they were
feel-
at. So the idea
God, I'm such a
that
gremlin.
you could wank.
I love the two extremes of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Like, 'cause that's literally one of like, nothing's getting touched. The what about Bob? Everything's got to have the little hanky.
Yeah.
And you're fully like, like just put
I guess
right
this
on
is
top of the
fucking
lid.
made for me. My bare ass on top of the lid.
No, what? No,
fucking-
you're joking.
I'm joking.
You didn't keep your tag
When you are
on.
on
she
that
ain't
level
joking.
of horn, like you
literally-
cannot focus.
You didn't take your pants off on. And
This is
Oh, this is like when people
amazing.
yell at you for having like pasta that's undercooked, but like I can't sometimes wait. Sometimes I just have to like get it in,
so
right?
you
like
putting your bare ass on a public toilet lid is not the same.
not a
as...
public toilet. The trains are privatized. Right?
You heard it here first, folks. This is.
Touche.
I'm never gonna forget this. Right?
And I was like, touche.
We haven't hung out in
Yep.
so long.
I know it's always so
Wow.
good. It's always so
The
good.
trains are fucking privatized.
It's ice. Yeah, yeah.
Do we have time for a
I'd
problem?
shake your hand.
Yes, we might need to solve a problem.
Let's
I'd
do
shake
one
your hand,
problem.
but I
Let's
know
do
where
one.
it's been, so that's a no. Andrew, give us one listener problem, please.
Okay, fabulous. Well, I had two loaded up, so you can
Go on.
you can choose between flat shares or grief.
Both fun.
Yeah, both super fun.
Say
I mean,
that
I
for
know
starters.
more about flat shares than grief, but I'm not afraid of the grief thing, but I just don't necessarily know that I'm fully equipped.
Let's go flat shares.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I can do grief.
But yeah, if you're going through grief, solidarity, everybody's got to do it.
Agreed.
We'll do the grief in the extras together. How about we do that?
Lovely. So this is from E.
Hi.
I am a very happy lesbian with my girlfriend. Sorry, I just realised I abridged the first two paragraphs and accidentally said I'm a very happy lesbian, which is not written down.
So she's a not happy lesbian?
I went to read I'm very happy with my girlfriend and then realised I needed to add the context she was a lesbian.
Yes.
She is a
We
lesbian.
would have gotten
who
that
is a
from
very
Very
happy with her
Too
girlfriend.
bad you're a very
Has
happy
girlfriend
lesbian.
because she's a happy lesbian.
Yes,
got
exactly.
it.
So E, the very happy lesbian, is with her girlfriend.
The very hungry caterpillar, the very happy lesbian.
That feels very long term, very happy, all good.
Great.
However, her current house share is in the process of disintegrating, and she is heavily hinting that she'd like to move in with me.
Here we go.
I'm currently living alone in my own flat, which I've worked hard for. I just turned 30 and have previously U-hauled early on in a number of relationships. I'm now really enjoying having my own space and independence. She slowly started to encroach on this, and I'm just not quite ready yet. She's 5 years younger than me, if that's any relevance.
It is helpful.
Obviously, I need to talk to her, but any
I
advice...
might just pop him in my sleep.
Literally, that's exactly what I'm just thinking. This is you.
Happening. Go on.
Obviously, I need to talk to her, but any advice on how best to approach the subject of slowing things down without making her feel like I'm not committed to the relationship?
Oh my god.
From a practical point of view, she keeps mentioning how much cheaper it would be for her to move in and share the mortgage rather than go into another house share. But I don't feel this is a good reason to rush into anything, and I'm just happy with how things are at the moment. On a side note, she's also talked about marriage a few times and how this is something she would definitely want to do. I myself don't think I ever want to get married, but again, I'm not sure how to best broach the subject. I feel like I should let her know where I stand on it quite early on. We've been seeing each other around 8 months. Thanks, E.
Well, E, you sound like a stressed lesbian and a happy one.
No,
girl.
Yes, you are in a slowly boiling pot.
Yes.
So what do you think? Ghosting? Just leave? Just give up?
It's time
Just
to move. Sorry, she does know where you
These
live.
conversations sound very tricky. I'd say just go.
I mean,
just go.
You said that she was in her 30s? Okay. I mean, 'cause this person's, I'm assuming then in their 20s then, 5 years younger than her?
Yeah, I think 30 and 25.
Yeah, that girl just became a person. So she doesn't necessarily, I mean, her brain just
Oh,
set.
it's 26, isn't it, when it
Just
sets?
set.
Yeah.
So it's just setting. And it's like she does want all of these things, but she's imagining things, and E's living a real life that she worked really hard for, and that independence is going to be very difficult to give up for anyone except for someone that you love. I mean, can you spin it into a obviously you have to talk about the taking the time, because 8 months isn't really enough. Unfortunately, just to start cohabitating without all the problems being
Tell that to the rest of the lesbians.
it's just going to be a pile-on of problems. Is there a way for you to be obviously you want to stretch out the enjoyment of this relationship, and when we live together, I want us to buy or get a place independently that we both kind of come together on.
Because
so that
you're only
nobody's-
going to ever be living in her. Otherwise, there's no
She's just-
parity
yes.
if she's just living in your house.
She's living in your house, and you are quietly resentful of someone that you love all of a sudden, and she's like, how come you're not making space for me? Because you're like, this is my space.
Yeah.
And what you want is a space that's your space together. So maybe you can deflect that into let's start making the plan of what we would want in our space potentially, and just start building on that. But yes, it would be cheaper for her. You already have a mortgage that you're paying for on your own.
Yeah.
So you can't just be yeah, I know this would be good for you. A lot of things that I could do would be good for you, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good for me.
Can I say, we've never had a person email in so much where I'm like, just say what you emailed.
Yeah, literally what
I'm
you emailed.
That's so fair. Nothing you're saying is unreasonable.
No.
Maybe have an ice cream ready just to soften the blow.
Yeah, just be I am completely in love with you, which is why I do not want you to immediately jump into moving into my place. That's not getting out of a relationship and then rebounding, but it's on the spectrum of the same.
I will say this, do not let her know that her brain is just forming.
Yes.
We don't
No,
like
don't say
that.
that. Don't
We
say that.
don't
But
like that.
You just need to know that there, but that she's just becoming, and she's yeah, it would be so much cheaper and this and that, and it's yeah, but she can find something that's affordable
You
for
want to
her.
move in when you're ready
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's romantic, because you couldn't bear not to, because you both want to build a space together, because you're sure that your lives align, not because it would be easier for her right now.
Yeah,
That's,
and
like,
even
not-
that for like it would just be so much cheaper and easier is like a setup for failure. You know what I mean?
I
It's just like
agree.
we're going to burn out the thing that we've just spent 8 months building if we just go rushing into something.
Yeah.
What is more important to you, me and your life, or your rent being affordable? Or and I get it, London rent is not
It's
affordable,
insane.
and you do have to live with 25 people. But she's 25. She
We
can
don't
do
know
that.
they're in London. They could be in bloody Scunthorpe for all we
Oh,
know.
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I also just feel like, trust me, hard learned, but you like guarantee you will kill your relationship.
Yeah.
If you do this for any reason other than it's what you
want
Your
to.
both
absolute desire
desperately
to
want
like
to.
not be apart anymore.
Yeah, but like, and also, by the way, I don't think you should have the marriage and the house conversation in the same go.
No.
That's a 1-2
Agreed.
blow.
That's 2 ice creams. You
But
gotta
I
have them
think
separate.
that when you do have that conversation as well, I think that you should be very clear on why, and that it's not about her, and also be very clear on like that's not going to change, because I think that's one that's really easy when you're like, you know, in a lovely place.
We've
to be
all been
like,
given false hope
maybe-
by someone, and it's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's also, I think this is very important to stress, is like, it's a completely legit stance to have. We always work as if, like, marriage is the given and you have to
Yeah.
explain your position. It's like, it's a completely legit thing to be like, I believe, and it's not anathema to, like, you can still believe in
Wait,
commitment.
what was that word?
Anathema. Like
The opposite of,
yes.
it's not the counterpoint to, like,
The athema.
Anathema.
Anathema.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you can't have, sorry. It doesn't mean you
Could you use it in a
She get-
sentence? Could you spell it?
It doesn't mean you can't believe in commitment. It's just like commitment might seem more real to you if you're not married. Like it might feel like less of a trap and more of an active choice. Like you just make sure you have your reasoning, but I wouldn't have that chat at the same time.
Yeah, the honestly, the combination of the two. I mean, this E is presenting them like she's also said this, and maybe it wasn't all in close succession,
Yeah.
but like them to. I mean, it's not full blown red flag. It's just a little flaggy. You know, it's a little like this person seems to be desperate to get their life settled, and that's just not going to happen at 25.
It's like slow your roll.
Like
Slow
you
your roll.
just you have to slow it down. Like you can't rush growing up, and this person seems to want to be like, I want to get this sorted and this and this and that, and you're like, it's not a 5-year plan.
And
Like,
I
it's-
Get a
was
pet
her.
snake and just
I
save
was
yourself
her.
the
I still
conversation.
am her.
Yeah.
I'm her. I get it. I want my life sorted. I want everything in neat boxes. But that's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
how it works. And if you do this, it'll be over.
Yes, and if she flies off the handle about this, that's an actual red
Yeah,
flag.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely reasonable boundary to be like, I'm not ready to move in with you.
Yeah.
And I have not listened to that before and persuaded people into things that I shouldn't have, and it was a
Yes.
nightmare.
And I know lesbian couples who managed to pull it off for years together, and it still crumbled because they just were like, "Poof."
Yeah.
And they kept going. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna keep working out, but like the inception of it, of just being like, let's do this on unequal terms. You know what I mean? Because there
That's
are
the
just
other
actual
thing.
disparities in power, and I mean, if she probably can't afford to pay half your mortgage, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if she can't afford to pay like a fifth of the rent at this other place, so she is just going to be kind of, needing you as the mommy in
You're
the situation.
so good at
right?
advice.
Yeah.
You're
Thank
so
you.
good at
Not
advice.
as good as me, though. I'll just say this, E.
Definitely take the pants and just right off, sit on the toilet seat.
It's an
rock,
option,
rock your
but, like,
flaps on there, get comfortable.
These conversations are tricky. Just do things that make her not want to move in. Get a pet snake. Get a compostable toilet. Do door and window free living. There's so many things
This girl
you can
would
do.
love door-free living by the sounds of
Yes.
things. She'd be
Door
like,
and,
I'm
door
just gonna
and window free.
Okay, fair enough. But
What?
it feels like
Yeah.
she'd want to, like, watch your pee, and I don't want that.
I'm like, what's the longest holiday you've been on with this person? That's what I want. Like, if you can go for 2 weeks somewhere with this person and live with them, it may become apparent to her.
And not a resort. We're talking traveling around by local transport.
Go camping for 2 weeks.
Go be in a caravan together for 2 weeks and see if she doesn't completely implode.
Caravan
But I
living sounds
actually
fun.
do think that, like, and I have been the and I do think I was being red flaggy. Like I do think I was being immature and unfair and selfish and desperate and needy. I was. And, like, I was.
It is amazing when you
like,
can see that about yourself
oh
and
my
like
God, I
actually
was.
say like I was doing that.
And
It
I'm
doesn't mean
still
you are
unpicking
that.
that.
You just were
Like,
doing it.
and what it is, the thing I'm unpicking is a fear of rejection and
Yeah.
like a sense
Yeah.
that like. But the thing
Yeah.
is, that's about self-worth, and there'll never
Yeah.
be enough.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just think you got to. And if she doesn't like it, then either she'll recognize she has got some work to do on
Yeah.
herself. And also, like, sometimes it's also like, if she gets upset, it might not all be about you. So also recognize
Allow
that,
her
like,
to get upset
Yes.
for a bit.
Yes.
She's gonna,
Yeah.
I would be upset.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some of her upset will be like a frustration that her life is where it's at. Because
Yes.
like, you know, because when you're 25, you're often working a job that should be paid more, that you're being
Yes.
underpaid for.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like the system of rent in this country is fucked. Like,
Yes.
like those aren't about you. So you have to let her also have some of those feelings.
Yeah.
You know, and not like center yourself in them.
Well,
but
shall
you
we-
gotta have this conversation ASAP.
Shall we
Yeah,
call
yeah.
back it then and just say like what you're saying? There's nothing that food can't solve. Like do it on a Tuesday, Domino's 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
have that pizza. Like
yeah.
have the tracker. I'd say have the conversation at baking
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
they're doing checks and
Have
out
a
for delivery.
dessert on hand. She will feel some rejection, most likely, even though you are not rejecting her.
I think the ice cream for sure there.
And it
Yeah.
makes that sound. How do you make that sound? That
Oh, the Domino's pizza
Yeah, the-
tracker. Wait, there's going to be a lot of people listening to this getting very excited right now. If you're on a train, quickly run to the closest bathroom.
if you hear heavy breathing, run away from the closest bathroom.
If you see me going into a toilet,
Just keep walking down the train. Keep on going.
I'll
Maybe
need
I'll be a
5
pizza.
minutes.
She won't. She
If I hold my breath. Anyway, thank you so much, Desiree.
What
Hey
a delight.
Desiree, where can people find you?
Oh man, please! I mean, I guess find my work. Don't find me. Go watch Too Hot to Handle. It's season 5. You can just sit there and just
it's
like
on
just
the
go.
5th season.
It is
now?
on the 5th season.
Oh.
They keep tricking people into getting on it.
Americans are crazy, man.
They're just like, hey, I'm hot. Can I be on TV? And they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
no
can.
strings except for all these strings you won't read.
It's got to be people who don't have Netflix subscriptions. They must, when they're interviewing, be like, so what do you subscribe to? And they're like, Disney Plus, Amazon, and they're like, great. Come on
great.
in.
You're in.
Free
Do you have a
range hot
bikini?
people. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's that, and then they can find you on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes,
and-
exactly. I'm at DesIRee on Instagram and sometimes on Twitter. I will try to be better on those, but I'm too busy living my life, guys.
Good for you. Good for you. She has got to get home from that restaurant, skip the club, and get to bed early, guys. She's a busy woman.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you very
yes.
much. Desiree Burch!
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all of you who support us on Patreon. We've got a new executive producer, Catherine. Don't look
Woohoo,
sad.
that's
I was
exciting.
singing very beautifully.
I'm glad about the exec. Go on.
So,
Who is it?
It's we've got the classics. We've obviously got the OG execs. We've
Go
got
on.
Simon Morse, Guy Goodman, Mary Fox, Annie Turner, Sarah Jarque-Deakin, Oliver Jago, and welcome from producer to exec, Anthony Conway.
Upgrade. Woo!
Welcome to exec level.
Please enjoy the lounge. Oh my god, how exciting! And also thank you to all of our producers. We've got Richard Bicknell, Elle, Richard Bolt, Sadie Cashmore, Zoe, Rachel Page, Helen A, Abby Wharf, Luke Bright, Kate, May Williams, Amy, Victoria Hutchison, Emma Walton, Becky Fox, Tim and Dom, Raya Fink, Cordelia, Amy O'Riordan, Kai Webb, Key Webb, Matt Sims, Emily G, Tristan, Taz, Claire Owen Jones, Harold Van Dyke, David Walker, Jess and Nick, Rachel Ard, Neil Redmond, Sarah and Molly, Tina Lindsay, Graham Marsh, Leah Overend, Liz Fort, Chloe. Good luck to Em having to edit that.